nothing I can do, a total eclipse of the heart.
I mean, what a song.
If you haven't heard, we in America are about to experience a total eclipse of the sun. And here with everything you need to know, it's Dan Cole.
Yay, Dan!
Dan, what is a solar eclipse of the sun and where do we see it?
So very simply, a solar eclipse is when the moon passes in between the Earth and the sun. And I need you to understand that this is a big deal. It's such a big deal. I was crying reading the news about it a couple of months ago because space phenomena like this, you can see that on your screen right now, happens so rarely. The last total solar eclipse we had was in 1979, and only part of Hawaii, I think, saw it. So this is visible to such a small part of the world normally, but this one's unusual. It's going to cross through the, there you go, it's going to cross through the entire United States. This is an American solar eclipse.
Why is it so rare?
Well, to explain why it's so rare, I'm going to have to explain how these things happen, and I am going to need some players. Would you all mind helping me act out a solar eclipse?
Sound good?
Okay.
All right.
This is going to be fun.
Eisman, can you stand up and play the sun for me?
Okay.
You are
I'm a star. So huge.
Yeah, you are a flaming ball of gas.
Oh my gosh.
Now,
okay, so that's our
Paige,
ball of gas.
You'll be the Earth, and you're going to go around the sun.
All right.
Because we know that's how the orbits work. But also, as you're going around, can you spin in place? Now, spinning around, you'll do this.
But not wow, so that's much fast.
Yeah,
but don't get
and
too dizzy.
that motion is what gives us day and night.
Woo.
Now, Orly,
Yes.
you have a very important job
So we
here.
have Mother Earth and we have the sun.
You have to
Can I go
orbit.
this way?
Yeah, you have to orbit Paige
Dramamine.
while she's spinning and orbiting Eisman. So Paige, you can give a little more distance.
So what is
there.
Orly?
Orly is the moon.
Okay.
Now,
You're going
now,
around me?
The odds of all of these things lining up and it being daytime anywhere are so rare.
Where is
It's
Carrie
so
Ann
rare.
Inaba?
Yeah,
Yes.
we
I
need
think
some
she's gonna
choreography.
pretend.
Now we're going to pause you right when we get right about here. That's perfect.
Okay.
Now, Paige, I'm going to ask you to step out. In this case, Paige was the Earth, but right now the camera is Earth. And you can see that Orly stepped forward just a little bit. Now, even though the sun is about 400 times larger than the moon.
I think you just called Matt fat.
I did. But the sun is also 400 times farther away, which means something small can completely block it out. And it's so rare that these things line up and it's daytime in North America. That's why this is amazing. It's incredible that we get to see this.
Why is this important for science?
Let's go. Let's bring it back down here for a minute.
Because you're the smartest
Great
man
job,
I know.
guys.
Yeah, I do
I know,
like
by
that.
the way.
Thank you. I
Can't
felt it.
teach that.
So
I think a
teach
star
I am
was
Earth.
born, a moon was born, and an Earth.
And an Earth.
now, what's interesting about solar eclipses is you have to remember the Earth is a solar-powered machine. So when the sun gets blocked out, we actually get to study things that we never have an opportunity to experience. For instance, did you know, at night birds stop chirping and insects go to sleep?
Right.
Well, you're actually going to get a second nighttime when the eclipse happens. All through that path across America, when the moon moves in front of the sun, birds and insects are going to think it's night, and they'll go to sleep, and a couple hours later, they'll wake up again. You'll have bird song like it's morning in the middle of the day. We get to study how the sun actually affects life. And more than that, the sun is a fiery ball of gas, which is incredible. But what's interesting about it is actually the corona. Now, the corona is right around the sun. It's these flares. We call them solar flares, and we get solar wind. And that's the part that we can never see safely from here without any equipment.
Well, speaking of that, how do you observe this? I mean, how do you go about seeing this?
Perfect. Now, we've all got these in our hands. These are Eclipse glasses, and I want to make sure that everyone at home knows you are not safe looking at the sun unless you have something certified by ISO. You can see it right
These
there.
are totally dark.
You can't see anything.
Your regular sunglasses let in thousands of times too much light to look at the sun during an eclipse. You want to make sure you get something like this and make sure it's certified.
Don't wear these driving.
Also, it's a blackout.
Yeah,
It's
a
a complete blackout.
Now, actually, if you all want to try wearing them right now, the sun is right up here, so you can see. If you put them on, look,
Oh, yeah.
it's incredible. Actually, you can see a bright orange ball in the sky.
It's
like
so
staring
little.
at me.
And the things for you to remember at home when you get these, you cannot use them if they're scratched. You cannot use them if they're nicked.
So
If
where
you-
are we going to get them?
You can buy these online in preparation, or at a
Wow.
couple of stores across the country in preparation for the eclipse.
Will
If-
we be able to see it here?
In California, we're going to get about a 62% occlusion, which means it's going to come, 62% in front of the sun.
Yeah.
We're not going to get all of it, but it's worth watching this no matter where you are. Now, if you're in the middle of the country, if you're across this path, you're going to experience what is truly a once-in-a-lifetime event, and I can't stress this enough. It's really fun to prepare for it with your family, and there's a couple of tools besides getting these that I want you to check out at home. NASA has put together an incredible app. It's called the Globe Explorer, and it's something that they put together for kids to help learn what's happening in the sky with clouds. And they're releasing an update for it just about the eclipse, because this is the first eclipse since the advent of the smartphone, which means for the first time, we can all be citizen scientists and help report data back to NASA. So we can report the temperature drop. When the moon completely covers the sun, what is the temperature where you are? NASA wants us to report. They want to know what the clouds look like in the sky during an eclipse, because this used to be something that you had to have major observatory equipment for. But now, we have our phones, and it's incredible that we're walking around with computers in our pockets, and you get to be citizen scientists.
I don't know if I've ever loved anything as much as you love science.
This is intense.
Is there?
I need you to understand, I really was crying thinking about the eclipse.
No, I believe you.
It's that much of a big deal.
Our world is such a wonderment, truly. I mean, it's unbelievable that this planet and this solar system exists, and we're here, and we're this big compared to what's happening up there. It's fascinating.
It really is.
You know,
Will this ever happen again while we're alive?
It will. Solar eclipses technically happen about every 18 months. The issue is whether or not we can see them. So if it happens and it's night sometime, you're not seeing it. If it happens and the solar eclipse is only visible over the ocean, no one's seeing it. What's interesting about this eclipse is that it actually traverses the whole United States, which means everyone gets an opportunity. And even if you're not in the path of totality, that diagonal line, it's worth going out and seeing the partial eclipse. It's worth understanding that there's something so much bigger than us happening. And the satellites that we send up into the sky are affected by the sun. We get to study these solar flares that affect our weather and that affect the men and women who are astronauts up there right now. We get to study the effects of electromagnetic rays during eclipses because we don't get a chance to look at that corona any other time.
Okay, well, speaking of looking at the corona again, what if we don't have these glasses? Can we look through a camera or a telescope or binoculars, and will it be safe?
Actually, this is a terrific question. It's definitely not safe.
Still not safe.
If you're looking through any of those lenses, it's going to make it worse. They will magnify the light coming into your eyes. So to be safe, here's a couple things you want to keep in mind. If you wear glasses, everyday glasses, and you buy these go over your glasses, not under. If you put them under and then your glasses on top, it will magnify the light coming in. Similarly, if you're looking through a telescope or binoculars, these have to go, you would buy a solar filter, it has to go on the end of the telescope or the end of the binoculars, not your eyes. You've got to be very careful because we are talking about staring at the sun. The only time it's okay to take these off is during the couple of minutes of total eclipse.
You can take it off then.
During then, and there's a way to put these on that's really important. You're gonna put them on, turn to the sun, look, and then turn away before you take them off.
Awesome. Thank you for your passion
Wow.
and the education.
Yes.
Next, more with family.
Amazing.